blacks and radical whites are being used to destroy America. They've been brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. And somebody is paying and setting them up to destroy America under the pretense that Black lives matter. And it's just not true at all. Those are words to seduce you. So you really need to wake up and see what's going on. It's up to you. Our battle is a warfare between good and evil. So when you get to know yourself, that battle is happening within you as well. A battle between good and evil. But when you wake up, then good will take over and defeat the lie within, and you will be free. And likewise, it will defeat it on the outside too, because you will see how to deal with these folks who are evil. It has nothing to do with color. I noticed that Black Lives Matter, this far-left liberal radical organization that was founded by fat black radical lesbians who are admitted Marxists, and they hate everything that's good. God, nuclear family, unborn children, capitalism, even though they're banking in money on, rolls of money on capitalism. They are starting to clean up their website a little bit. They're taking out those types of things so you're not able to. At first they had it there, but so many people started to see it and mention it. They don't want the word to get out that they're Marxists, and they really just want to turn America into a communist society. They have a hidden agenda. Amazing. And so yesterday, in Louisville, Kentucky, this is from the Curry Journal. In Louisville, Kentucky, unrest and riots in Louisville, Kentucky last night after a grand jury indicted one of the three officers involved in the shooting of some black woman by the name of Breonna. Hankinson is the officer who was indicted on 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. And the jury said several bullets he fired went into a neighboring unit where a pregnant woman and a man and a child were home. And neither of the two other Louisville officers were charged with killing Taylor. What it's really about is putting you under fear in order to take back the White House and turn America into a socialist society. It's not about the shooting. It's not about some black woman by the name of Taylor. It's not about police brutality. It's not about any of those things. It's about taking control of you. Look how they're saying now 200,000 people have the Chinese virus or something dumb like that. But what they're not telling you is that a lot of these people are dying from other causes. They're saying that everybody dying from Chinese virus. So my question is, why is Breonna Taylor, why was she living or even in a house with a drug dealer? Why was she in a house with a man it doesn't seem that she was even married to and allegedly involved in drugs? Why is there no talk about those things? And I noticed that a lot of black women shack up with all kind of no good black men, drug dealers, alcoholics, whatever they're into. But no talk about it. Just blame it on the cops. But this whole thing is not about the shooting. It's not about police brutality. It's a setup to turn America into a socialist communist society. And people are being used to get that done. And especially black people. especially black. And now young whites have been brainwashed in these schools, so they're being used too. These Antifa people and all these radical white people, young whites who are carrying out these destruction of their own country. So I want to show you how these people are well funded. This is well thought out, well planned, and it's not an accident. These blacks are not just showing up, just walking down the road, and they heard that Breonna Taylor, that the cops were set free, and they're like, oh, I'm mad. No, this is well thought out, well planned, well organized. Also, the Gateway Pundit is reporting that Breonna Taylor's previous boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover, was also arrested in this same investigation. Breonna was seen taking packages from her previous ex's home to a known drug house. So you're not going to hear the real deal because they want blacks creating criminals incidents. They want them involved. They want them out of it so they can rent the blacks for destruction. There's more to the story, but people are not thinking for themselves. They're just going along with the okie doke. And that's too bad. But I want to show you how these riots are well funded. This is from Gateway Pundit. A U-Haul. Now, this is after this whole thing broke out, after they announced the verdict for the cops. You're gonna see these people going over to the U-Haul, and everything is all set up. And I remember when I used to work for a union, I was a union organizer, and we were gonna go picket. We would plan it out really well, and we would know the people that we were gonna have. And this was for hospital workers, and there were other kind of home care workers that were mostly Mexicans too, but blacks and Mexicans. They were doing home care work, taking care of folks in their homes. And they wanted more money, or they may have wanted a union, but they wanted more money and things like that. So what we would do is plan out the event. These are the people that are going to sit in front of the buildings and allow themselves to be arrested. We are going to come and get you out as soon as you are arrested. The union already has the money, and we're going to get you out. These are the number of people going to sit and be arrested. When the cops come for you, you're going to lay down on the ground and allow yourself to be arrested. Don't worry, we're coming for you. We have the money. And these are the people who are going to protest and get loud and carry picket signs. You guys are not going to be arrested. And then leading up to the day of the demonstration, we will have signs made up. All different kinds of signs made up. And then we would take the signs to the locations where the picking demonstration will happen, and we would give them to the people. But because you don't know what's happening behind the scene, it looked like it just came out of nowhere. And the same thing is happening right now with these blacks and radical whites who are out there burning and destroying, robbing, stealing, and killing. It's all planned out. I'm just a little surprised that the FBI or the Department of Justice or somebody, and maybe they are not looking into who's organizing and planning all of this stuff. This is not a random, these riots are not random. Really, it's well thought out. And the unions wanted more people in the union because it meant more union dues. And the more money that you made for the union, you could support the Democrats, whoever you wanted to run. You should support them and in their political race. And you had a lot of money to party off in the union. Union organizers, the people who work for the union, they made good money. They get free cars, drive around in, and all kind of stuff. You just don't know the background. You're just looking at what's happening out there, but you don't know who and what is going on behind the scenes. And these incidents remind me of that so much. And then whenever we wanted to put in a new union into a location that did not have a union, hospitals that didn't have unions, what we would do, we would send people out or go out and talk to the employees who were complaining, who were mad, who lazy and didn't really want to show up for work, or mad at the bosses because they had to work hard. And we would talk to them and encourage them to get us into the hospital with other normal employees so we can meet with them and convince them that they wanted a union, that they needed one. It's all thought out, folks. It's well planned. It's not like this truck, this U-Haul, just out of nowhere, just happened to be riding down the road. Oh, a riot is happening. Oh, I happen to have some signs made up. It's not like that. It's so amazing how you can be deceived. And there are people always, children of the lie, always working in the background to deceive you. And if you are an emotional person, you'll fall for it. And once you fall for the first lie, they got you. Because immediately another lie is coming before you can realize, oh, that was a lie. That was a game. This is why you got to wake up. But this is from Gateway Pundit. A U-Haul that began distributing riot supplies in Louisville immediately following the announcement that no officer would be charged for Breonna Taylor's death. So here you're going to see that these people all just going over to the U-Haul truck and taking out signs and weapons. And look, how did they know to go over there? These are the people that have already met with whomever organizing, and they knew that the U-Haul truck would be there. They knew that the signs would be ready, weapons would be there. Now, some of the dummies are running over there because they see the people, the organizers, getting the signs and stuff. So they're just running over, grabbing them because they're excited. They're burning and looting and intimidating. So they don't know what they're doing. But some of those people who are taking those signs are well informed as to what's going on. You're being had. You're being screwed and don't know it. See that? Isn't that amazing? It's all thought out. We're playing the video of it. It's a silent video, but you can see everybody running over to the U-Haul. The big old signs are all made up. We did the same thing with the unions. Everything was clearly thought out. They meet at night. They meet sometime during the day for lunch. It's all planned out. This is a well thought out project. And the people who are being used to carry out the destruction, they really think that the organizers care about them. They don't. But the people are blind and they can't see. And so they're being used. Gateway Pundit, this is also from the Gateway Pundit. According to a leaked U.S. U-Haul record, the truck was found to be rented by Holly Zoller of the Bell Project. And Holly Zoller, according to Gateway Pundit, later confirmed these details. It's all planned. It's all thought out. And poor blacks, they're being used. And they don't know it. That's why I'm trying to wake them up. And now we got to deal with the young white thugs who are also being used. They've been had. They've been played to destroy the greatest country on this side of heaven. So the Bell Project claims to be organized around the anti-fascist movement and has paid bail for more than 12,000 criminals to date. That's right. I'm telling you, the union that I work for, they raised the money, they had the money, and they tell the people, you go out, you go to jail, you lay down in front of the company that we're picking in, we're going to bail you out. All right? Don't worry about it. So if you know you're going to get bailed out, why you don't worry about falling out in front of the cops, calling the cops names, and doing crazy things like that. But if you don't think you're going to get bailed out of jail, you're not going to go there and carry on like that. And then they also tell you how far you can go. When you're dealing with the cops, you can only go so far. You don't quite cross the line. You can intimidate the cops. You can yell at them. You can fall out on the ground. You can blame the cops. But once they say a couple of times to you, you will be arrested if you don't leave, then you push the limit to that and let them arrest you. And we'll come and get you out. This is reminding me of that in so many different ways. So the Bail Project claimed to be organized around the anti-fascist movement and has paid bail for more than 12,000 criminals to date and received donations from many notable celebrities and companies. See, that's the thing that the left do very, very well, that the right don't seem to understand. The right, from what I can tell, are not organizing behind the scene. They're not raising money to bail you out. They're not meeting with you in secret and training you on what to do and what to say. They're not telling a certain group of people, you're the one that's going to cause destruction, but don't worry, we got your back. And these other people, they'll just help with that by being in the front line, yelling and screaming and carrying picket signs. The right don't fight back in the way that the left do, and the left never stop fighting. They never stop raising money. They never stop looking for victims. They never stop it. And I remember when I first started Bond, we did a lot of protests in front of abortion mills. We would go downtown to city councils and other meetings that they were having down there. And I would know that, I'm going to yell out. I'm going to speak the truth. When they call the cop to come and take me out, I'm just going to fall out and let the cop take me. And I knew when to stop. I knew when I got outside, oh, I'm sorry, cop, I'm fine. I was trained by the union. But the right don't train like that. Even when they show up for a rally, they're not well trained. They just invite people, hey, come and let's rally. Let's support President Trump, for an example, right? They said we're going to have a rally today supporting the Great White Hope. But there's no thought-out plan. They're bringing some speakers, and then they just call us through, hey, we'd like to invite you to come speak. And then we invite other people to come and rally, but there's no real thought-out plan. And then the folks who come in opposition to the president's supporters, they've been well planned. Finance, they come with weapons. They already know who's going to attack the Trump supporters and go to jail. It's all thought out, folks. And you wonder why the right don't win in rallies, because it's not well thought out. They don't raise money for rallies. They don't raise money to get certain people out of jail, to buy lunch. They buy lunch for you and everything, an amazing lunch. Because after the rally is over, all the people who were trained and in some cases paid to lay out and go to jail, they go get you out of jail that same day, and at night they have a party. Catered lunch or dinner, and laugh about what happened that day. It's crazy. And the people that you're feeding the lunch to, they feel good because now they're being fed. They feel like they did a good job. Oh, you did a good job today laying out in front of the building, attacking the cops, burning down the building. And they feel good about being praised. It's a mess. Does that sound interesting? Very. Did y'all know all that goes on? You knew that was well planned behind the scene?
For the left, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
Gone to a rally that was well planned, well thought out?
Yeah, paid for. Certain people are going to lay out and go to jail, and certain
No,
going to. You never done that, right?
nothing that organized.
Because the right don't organize like that.
Right,
Um,
absolutely.
when we started Bond, we already knew who was going to jail, who was not, who was going to yell, who was going to just picket, but we don't do as many rallies now as we used to. But it was amazing. It was fun.
Yeah, you make a good point that the left does that extremely well.
Right now, even with what's happening in Louisville right now, they're meeting. Whoever organized this thing, they're meeting behind the scene right now, and they're planning out their next terrorist attack, and who's going to be involved, who's going to jail, who's not, who's going to make the signs, and who's going to. It's being planned right now, and it's going to happen until the elections are over. And then it'll calm down a little bit, and then it'll start up again. As a matter of fact, that's how the union, one of the ways that some of the unions got started during the civil rights movement, there was no certain unions, and they went and found the angry blacks, and they used them to start unions. They pretend that they care. They don't care about you. They care about political issues, power, and money. But the people are so dumb, and I understand it. If I had not done the work as a union organizer, I wouldn't know about this myself. I would think that it was like what the rights are doing. They decide to hold a rally, invite people to show up, make a few tired signs, and just rally. And then these other people show up. You don't think, wow, they're well organized. They have weapons. So you see the U-Haul, right? It's well thought out, folks. And the right, y'all better wake up and get a grip. It's amazing, this battle that it's much better dealing with battles where you can see what's going on than it is when you're in darkness and you don't understand what's happening. You don't really know. One other thing I remember is Barbara Cole and other Terry Anderson, Isola Foster, and all of us, we used to always have rallies out in West LA dealing with the illegal aliens. We were trying to close the borders back in the 90s. And we would have major rallies out in West LA at the federal building there. Amazing place to have a rally, by the way. And then these far left radical Mexicans would come. What's the name of the Mexican organization? LULAC or something like that?
I'm not sure what that one is. I've never heard of that one.
James, this is LULAC or something. And they're like the NAACP and the radical black organizations. They're like that with the Mexicans. And they would organize the Mexicans who wanted the illegal aliens to be there. LULAC is the League of United Latino American Citizens, something like that. Latin American Citizen. League of United Latin American Citizens. And they would organize their folks, and we would be out at the federal building protesting and doing our thing. And they would show up with frozen Coke cans and rocks and sticks with nails and things in them to attack us. And one day we were out there protesting the borders or something like that. We were trying to get the government to stop the illegal, or maybe no health care for the illegal, something. And they showed up and they were hitting the elderly people in the head. They were throwing these cans, and they ended up hitting Martin, a friend of mine, Martin, in the head. He was bleeding. And those were amazing times, though. We were totally involved because we wanted America to be great. The government didn't listen, though. And even when we got certain bills passed in California, the liberal courts would overturn it. They would not enforce it. And that's the president retweeted that video where Martin was hit in the head with a Coke can, and he and I was standing there, and this Latin Mexican, I guess, I don't know the difference between a Latin and a Mexican, was standing there. Oh, you like the Mexican, you like the Latinos? It was a mess. But it's more than meet the eye, folks. Really, these folks who are looting and destroying and attacking America, they're being used. It's well thought out with people with money, by people with money. And I want to show you how they just lie to the public. And because the public, matter of fact, LULAC is an evil organization. Believe me, it's as bad as the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, most black preachers. It's the same kind of thing. And they're trying to use Latinos to gain power and wealth for themselves. They don't care about the Mexicans or anyone either. But anyway, this is how they lie to you too. And they don't mind lying because you're already wound up, you're already angry, you've already believed into a lie. And so they lie. They go into the media and they lie to justify violence. Here's a perfect example. This is from the Revolver. The president of Ohio State, Christina Johnson, lied about Breonna Taylor's death and called for an anti-racist world. Watch this.
Breonna Taylor deserves justice, and this does not feel like justice. We cannot accept what has happened in Louisville. We grieve the tragic and senseless loss of Breonna Taylor, a daughter, a friend, a niece, a loved one, who was unarmed and asleep. The breakdown in the justice system and the killings of unarmed Black and brown people in our country has become all too familiar, tragically. This isn't going to stop until we create an anti-racist world.
And look how she's just lying. She should be arrested for inciting a riot. Breonna Taylor did not die in her sleep. Breonna Taylor was not a lovely daughter, mother, whatever she said. All the words that, if you're an emotional person, they draw you in. Breonna Taylor was living allegedly with some drug addict, some drug dealer guy. And she had been living with one prior to that. And it looked like, according to the report, she helped to transport the drugs or something, I don't know. But it wasn't what this lying woman said. But if you're emotional, they know how to word it to draw you in. And her boyfriend shot at the cop. And they also are telling you that it wasn't a knock before they entered. They did knock before they entered. The cops did. And the reason they shot was because Breonna's boyfriend, according to the report, shot first. What do you think the cops going to do? Oh, my Lord, he shot her. Let's go. He shot at her. Let's go on in anyway. And all of this has been confirmed by Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. It's all been lied. They're lying to you, folks, and they are taught and they are trained to lie to you. They know how to lie to you. These words, those words, Black Lives Matter, those words were thought out, well thought out, before they brought them to you. They came up with other names before they finally agreed on Black Lives Matter. Who's going to disagree with that? And here's another awful, evil, nasty, dirty woman from MSNBC. This is from MSNBC, the host, a woman by the name of Joy Reid. And just one thing about most, not all, all right? Not all. About most women, they don't mind lying. A woman would lie in a minute. She would lie about you. She would lie about your children. She would lie and say you rape your children, you touch your kid, you're abusive to get your children away from you to destroy them. And then when they see that you're feeling the pain of the lie, that is hurting you, they'll lie some more. You can look in their eyes and you'll see that they're getting a joy from, oh, he feels pain. And they'll say things that will shock you with pain. And if you react to it, some more lies will come. That's how Joy Reid is. I pray that this woman doesn't have children, a husband or children. They're doomed. Watch how Joy Reid just lie with no problem. Watch this.
What this indictment says of just this one officer, leaving the other two officers completely innocent, apparently. Police have the full right and are fully within the law to bust into your apartment while you're asleep after midnight and start shooting and can kill you as long as they aim.
Another lie.
This was a Black Lives Don't Matter ruling.
Another lie. She just lie. And then those who are into watching MSNBC, because there are a lot of folks who watch MSNBC, especially blacks, they'll just believe it. And they'll go out repeating it as though it's true. And then when you get in debates with them about it or discussions, saying, no, that's not true, Joy Reid was lying, they're not going to believe you. I can't tell you the number of discussions I've had with my blood family members about these things. They're like, you always have a different opinion about things. Where you get your information from? They believe Joy Reid. They believe the lying, race hustling black people. And once you believe a lie, it's over. Satan got you. That's why you can't convince a person who has already believed into a lie. You have to just be an example, tell them the truth, and let them suffer. And maybe in suffering they'll wake up, but you can't convince. It's like trying to convince an alcoholic, a drunk person. Even when I'm dealing with drug addicts, alcoholics, and when I say that, people who are using those things, or potheads, once I find out they are high or drunk, I'm like, okay, we'll have to talk later. I'm wasting time. An angry person. You can't convince an angry person. Or a person that wants something so badly, they're not willing to listen. You have to just let them suffer. Don't hold it against them. Wish them well. It's a spiritual battle, folks. It really is amazing. It's an amazing battle when you watch it from within. Let me go all the way out to, and then we're going to get to your super chats and D-Lives. Let me go out to London.